Drawing attention has always been the focus of Lamborghini. Its automobiles are the definition of excess, with sculpted lines, loud engines and a brazen attitude. And now the twin-turbo Huracan EVO, short for Evolution, incorporates a ton of innovation to create a speedier, more adaptable car. This is a departure from Lamborghini's most recent Huracan. So what makes the Lamborghini Huracan Evo twin-turbo different? And what is this car capable of? Virtually everything of the EVO's performance hardware and software has been digitally improved or modified, with the exception of the roaring, naturally aspirated V10 pulled from the Performante. In its place, a clever four-wheel steering system that was adopted from the top-of-the-line Aventador has been added. It goes without saying that a Lamborghini Huracan with two turbochargers will accelerate quickly. You might be surprised by how quickly it happens in reality though. The 5.2-litre V10 engine's maximum output is capped at 640 horsepower, but the addition of two turbochargers nearly doubles that. It was manufactured and tuned by B Tuning, RS Engineers and LCE Performance. The engine may be tuned to one of three different settings. The mid-level driving mode boosts horsepower to 1,100 horsepower, while the tame setting stops it at 850 horsepower. The car may be switched to Corsa mode, which produces 1,250 horsepower for those who want the maximum amount of power. The car accelerates from 100 to 200 km an hour in just 3.21 seconds, making it faster than a Bugatti Chiron, trailing only the 3.13 seconds required by a 1,750 horsepower twin-turbo Lamborghini Gallardo from Dallas Performance. Once it surpasses 200 km an hour, the automobile continues to gain speed at a genuinely terrifying rate. In fact, it launches from 200 km an hour to 300 km an hour in just 6.18 seconds, taking almost half the time of a McLaren 765 LT. The twin-turbo Lamborghini Huracan Evo is also the first Lamborghini to have torque vectoring and LDVI, a new powertrain ECU that controls the vehicle's dynamic systems. While stuck in rush hour traffic, drivers won't notice the G-force advancements of the system, but they will enjoy the new 8.4-inch multi-gesture touchscreen. The screen, which is mounted low on the center console, controls a variety of elements, including audio, an updated navigation system with real-time traffic, and climate control. The system supports Android Auto and is Apple CarPlay compatible. If you still want to keep an eye on the magic in the drivetrain, this is made possible by using a sleek overhead vehicle schematic which displays steering angle, G-force, and torque vectoring levels. Although it doesn't go as far as the Nissan GT Datafest, it uses the interface similarly. Although Lamborghini has happily kept its row of hard toggle switches above the dashboard, the new arrangement does reduce the amount of button clutter compared to the old setup. When you use the new technology, which controls the level with a simple double-finger swipe, you probably won't miss a physical volume knob. A large, naturally aspirated engine is the best way to get in the mood for an exciting drive, and Lamborghini always delivers the show. The Evo's massive 10-cylinder cranks to life with a powerful, raspy growl as soon as the missile launcher shield is flipped over and the red starter button is pressed. The wheel is flanked by substantially fixed paddles and is covered in switches, including turn signal toggles that function similarly to motorcycle switchgear. Lamborghini's driving mode options now have an even more dramatic impact on how the Evo operates, since there are more electronics controlling the dynamics of the car. The system limits traction and stability control, making it similar to rain mode, while the exhaust sound becomes quiet enough for all-day comfort. Don't even consider switching to Strada or road mode on the track. Sport is the most liberal and perhaps the most enjoyable method to navigate the circuit, even if it isn't the fastest, since it allows for more skids and greater yaw angles. The 10-cylinder mill is a monstrous creature, reacting with exquisite noises and razor-sharp reflexes. The V10 will accelerate to 62 miles per hour in 2.9 seconds when pushed to its absolute limit and won't stop until it reaches 202 miles per hour. The new Huracan seems noticeably sharper and more agile than the previous model when compared back to back, and despite the additional gear, the Evo weighs the same as its predecessor, which is 88 pounds more than the Performante. The EVO is really adept at navigating all obstacles at high speeds. In contrast to the Performante, the Evo's chassis feels as though it handles gradual turns differently than rapid ones. That shouldn't be a surprise, as Lamborghini experts claim that depending on a variety of factors, the steering system's transition point from counter-phase to in-phase may vary from 31 miles per hour to 68 miles per hour. Thus, the constant translation of steering inputs into vehicle behavior is not always possible. The Evo's chassis thankfully feels competent and quick, with plenty of grip and steering wheel input to appropriately reflect how the specially designed Pirelli Corsa tyres are reacting with the road. The improved stability control system is partly to blame for the Evo seeming much more manageable at the limit of a slide than the standard vehicle. Although Maurizio Reggiani, the technical director of Lamborghini, is reluctant to use the term drift control, that is exactly what the system is: a method of regulating yaw angles sufficiently to sustain sideways slides without spinning it out of control. One complaint, which is significant, is that the 7-speed dual clutch, which shifts smoothly and quickly, upshifts superbly during heavy acceleration in sport mode, but is unable to do so while in Corsa mode. Unfortunately, the driver cannot choose a setting that prepares the entire car for maximum speed around a track. After all, it is virtually difficult to outperform the computer when it comes to pressing the paddle, as the revs quickly increase to the 8,500 RPM cutoff. Although you do feel the pedal softening, its basic carbon ceramic brakes are still incredibly efficient at slowing it down. While the Evo lacks the track-focused Performante's stunning linearity, its individuality emerges as you explore its corners. It feels completely different and is a more competent supercar than many have anticipated. In the end, the Evo's track capabilities are more advanced than those of its predecessors, and it could even be more adaptable than the Performante. It demonstrates a wider range of skills and reactivity. But more importantly, the Evo advances by keeping the large, traditional, naturally aspirated V10 and surrounding it with cutting-edge technology to offer a performance that's both emotionally engaging and blazingly fast. The lack of the bumper also makes it possible to see the massive Toyo Proxys R888R tyres mounted on 20-inch Rift forged wheels, in addition to the spectacle of the modified turbos dangling from the rear. The outward modifications are limited to the enhanced rolling stock and a Rift carbon fiber wing with swan neck pedestals that rest out back because it's a Huracan Evo and doesn't need anything else. It's reasonable to conclude that Giovanni should be satisfied with the car's existing situation for the possible future. Getting in a car and going 60 to 130 miles per hour in just 3.1 seconds is just crazy. By the way, the most satisfying feature cannot be measured since the specs don't adequately capture how much fun or engagement driving is. Driving at full speed when a 5.2-litre naturally aspirated V10 is screaming its heads off less than a foot from your eardrums is an unforgettable sensation. Anyway, what do you think of this vehicle's exposed rear end? Do you think it serves the purpose Lamborghini designed it to show its superiority? That's all from this video. See you in the next one.